I'm saying all of the musicians are broke.
Musicians don't make a lot of money in the music industry. That's why you see a lot of people, they have brand deals and brand sponsorships. That's where the coin comes from in touring. But like music itself, you're actually losing money.
I'm broke. Man, listen, this Atlanta record stuff, this ain't my money. These people let me hold it for the videos, for all that. This is not my jury.
You ever see an artist flexing a platinum plaque, rocking designer clothes, and posing next to a Lambo and think, wow, they must be rich? Yeah, not quite. Most artists aren't as rich as they look. Labels know how to fake that millionaire life. They'll rent you the cars, book the studio, send cameras, all to make you look successful, even when your bank account says otherwise. And no one proves that better than TLC. Lisa Left Eye, T-Boz, and Chilli were unstoppable in the 90s. CrazySexyCool sold over 12 million copies. They won Grammys and ruled MTV. But in 1995, headlines dropped. TLC files for bankruptcy.
I'll put it to you this way. We are the biggest selling female group ever. 10 million albums worldwide. We have worked very hard. We have been in this business for 5 years. And we are broke as broke can be.
Fans were shocked. How can the world's biggest girl group be broke?
10 million albums, how can you be broke? And two, what's coming up with Left Eye Productions?
I can't go into everything right now, but trust me, you can sell 10 million albums and be broke if you have greedy people behind you.
They were earning less than 10 cents per album. Split that 3 ways minus taxes, managers, and stylists. They were left with crumbs. Their advance from the label wasn't a gift, it was a loan. Everything from music videos to tour buses had to be paid back before they saw a dime. Imagine making $1 million, then being told you owe $950,000. Meanwhile, label execs were eating 5-star dinners off TLC's success. Even their lawyers worked for both sides. By the time the dust settled, each member had only around $50,000 to show for 10 million albums sold. Wild, right? Should record labels still have that much control over artists' money? Drop your thoughts below. T-Pain, from $40 million to zero. T-Pain didn't just make hits, he changed music. Before him, auto-tune fixed notes. After him, it was the sound. From buy you a drink to bartender, he became the voice of a whole era. Even Kanye admitted it. At his peak, T-Pain had over $40 million, then lost it all.
When you say you was broke, was you at like $0 broke?
I had to borrow money to get my kids Burger King.
Wow.
Yeah.
After having, what's the most you ever had in the bank at one time?
40 million. It was a lot of bad investments. A lot of things.
What did you invest in that didn't work for $40 million? What were you invested in?
Real estate.
Real estate.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Bad real estate deals, flashy cars, too much trust in the wrong people. The money disappeared fast. He once said he had to borrow cash just to buy his kids fast food. He admitted nobody ever warned him. Everyone before him made fame look easy, like the money never ends, but it does. The good news, he bounced back. T-Pain started streaming, producing his own music again, and preaching financial awareness. His message, don't just make money, learn to keep it. What do you think? Could you handle $40 million without losing it all? Let me know in the comments. B.o.B, the star who owned nothing. In 2010, Bob was everywhere. Nothing on You with Bruno Mars, Airplanes with Hayley Williams, Magic, all hits. He was supposed to be the next big thing, but behind the fame, B.o.B was broke. Signed to Atlantic Records, his deal looked great from the outside, but it was a trap. He didn't own his music, didn't control his revenue, and barely saw real money from his hits. The more he succeeded, the richer the label got. He said it himself. He was making hits, but couldn't make rent. Eventually, he walked away from the label, went independent, and finally started earning for himself. But by then, the industry had moved on. His story shows what happens when you're famous, but not free. Would you have left the label or stayed for the fame? Let me know in the comments. And if you're learning something new, hit that subscribe button for more untold music stories. Kesha, the pop star who couldn't escape. Kesha exploded onto the scene in 2009 with TikTok. It broke records, topped charts, and made her a global star. But behind the glitter and wild energy, she was trapped in one of the ugliest contract battles in pop history. She accused her producer, Dr. Luke, of serious mistreatment and control, saying he ran her life and career like a prison. The worst part, she couldn't release music without going through him because he owned her contract. For years, Kesha was stuck. She couldn't tour, couldn't drop albums freely, and spent millions on lawyers. Even when she released her comeback album Rainbow, he still got a cut. Imagine that, fighting to free yourself while still paying the person you're fighting against. It's a heartbreaking example of how fame can look glamorous on the outside, but be a nightmare inside. What do you think? Should artists have more control over their contracts? Drop a comment below. Wowzers, the illusion of riches. Bow Wow went from child prodigy to superstar fast. Discovered by Snoop Dogg, signed by Jermaine Dupri, and dropping hits before he was even a teenager. He had platinum albums, movie roles, TV gigs. He was everywhere. But years later, his fame turned into a meme. Remember the Bow Wow challenge? When he posted a private jet photo, but fans caught him flying commercial. That moment exposed the truth. He was flexing for the internet, not living it. Behind the scenes, Bow Wow had tax problems, lawsuits, and unpaid show fees. He admitted he felt pressure to look rich just to stay relevant. Because in the music world, image is currency. He said pretending was easier than being honest, but that kind of pressure breaks people, especially when you grow up in the spotlight with no real guidance or financial plan. Do you think fame at a young age helps or ruins artists in the long run? Sean Kingston, the summer star who fell hard. Back in 2007, Sean Kingston dropped Beautiful Girls and instantly became a global superstar. He was only 17, living the dream. Hit songs, mansions, fancy cars, and jewelry everywhere. But fast forward to now, and the story is completely different. His Florida mansion was raided by SWAT, and reports say he and his mom were caught up in a web of fake purchases. Everything from luxury TVS to exotic cars. They were allegedly ordering expensive stuff with fake wire transfers and never paying the bills. Basically, the lavish lifestyle became an illusion, and it caught up to him. From Billboard fame to courtroom drama, Sean Kingston's story shows how living beyond your means can destroy everything you've built. MC Hammer, from too legit to too broke. MC Hammer wasn't just famous, he was a phenomenon. You Can't Touch This turned him into a global icon. He sold over 30 million records, had endorsement deals, cartoons, and a mansion that looked like a small city. But Hammer was too generous for his own good. He kept a staff of over 200 people, including friends, family, bodyguards, and even people just to care for his horses. The problem? That generosity burned through $30 million fast. Eventually, he filed for bankruptcy, owing over $13 million. He tried to bounce back with new albums and tours, but the magic never fully returned. Still, Hammer turned things around later, became a pastor, invested smart, and started living within his means. But his story remains one of hip-hop's biggest lessons. Money fades fast when you try to take everyone with you. Sisqo, the thong song curse. In 1999, Sisqo dropped the thong song and the world went crazy. It was fun, wild, and everywhere. He became a superstar overnight. Flashy hair, flashy clothes, flashy everything. But here's the crazy part. He barely made money from the song that made him famous. Why? Because of one small mistake. He didn't own the publishing. When he borrowed parts of Livin' La Vida Loca for his track, the songwriter Desmond Child got most of the profits. So while the world danced to his music, Sisqo saw only a fraction of the money. Add some bad financial choices on top of that, and the fame quickly faded. It's a tough reminder that in music, talent isn't enough. Ownership is everything. Toni Braxton, the voice that the industry broke. Toni Braxton's voice defined the 90s. Songs like Unbreak My Heart and Breathe Again made her one of the most successful R&B singers of all time. She sold over 15 million albums, won Grammys, and had one of the most powerful careers in music. And yet, she filed for bankruptcy twice. Her first contract paid her less than 35 cents per album, even while her label made millions. To make things worse, during bankruptcy, she couldn't even perform her own songs because the rights were owned by creditors. Then in 2010, after recovering, she filed again. Between medical bills, canceled tours, and taxes, she was millions in debt. She even had to auction off her awards and furniture just to stay afloat. Toni's story shows how even the most talented artists can get crushed by bad deals and unfair systems. So the next time you see a rapper in a luxury car, flashing diamonds, or showing off stacks of cash, remember, not everything that glitters is gold. In the music industry, the flashiest ones are often the most broke behind closed doors. The truth? Fame doesn't always mean fortune, and for every millionaire you see, there are 10 others silently fighting debt, bad contracts, and broken dreams. But here's what I want to know. If you were in their shoes, would you choose fame or freedom? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every one of them, and if you're loving these behind-the-scenes stories of music, money, and fame, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join the community, because the next video dives into how one artist, even after death, still makes more money than most living stars. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.